Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. So today I have a seat in front of me. Obviously, I'll have a guest here. So it's not a guest, but till date, from past 1 year, she has been behind the camera and helping me all the way around with regard to all the astrological talks what I am doing. So I am introducing my wife Anjana Agarwal today. So please. So she will be here. She is also a qualified astrologer. So
Namaste.
so she is my backbone. I can't tell was my backbone. She is my backbone, and what all you are seeing in front from past 1 year, me speaking and all the subscribers who are there. So it's all because of her effort also. It's not only me who is doing it. So I would want her to sit with me and discuss. So we will make this as a discussion rather than a class. But still, I'll be posting it as a class because all these discussions are important, and every discussion does not mean that it will be stipulated to a particular agenda and only then it will go ahead. So I think today, on behalf of all the YouTube comments, my other online comments, so
All the students.
all the students, so many clients who have other doubts other than their own charts, they want to know what happens if Jupiter is retro in the fifth house along with Ketu. Many people were asking these questions. So we'll all come to those things. We see me teaching and we discussing, there is a lot of difference. So today I think she has some questions on behalf of everybody on YouTube. So let us discuss.
So I would like to talk about Jupiter and Moon's combination, that is
Gajakesari Yoga. Yeah.
and the impact of this yoga on Dusthanas.
Dusthanas.
6th house, 8th house, 12th house. People generally, when they come to us, they have a lot of fear, or sometimes they are like under anxiety that we have a yoga but it is not performing, or so many other astrologers or somewhere they will say that you have a big Raja Yoga and you will be doing this and you will be doing that, but they don't end up in that.
Correct.
So what happens, that failure and that trust on these yogas, it loses. So today we would like to discuss the impact on only on these three houses.
This is a very benefic yoga. That's what people think, right?
Right.
So
But every
your
time it
question
doesn't
is that what happens? See, generally, let us talk about Gajakesari Yoga. There are two planets involved in Gajakesari Yoga. One is Jupiter, the other one is Moon. Let us go to the basis of the Gajakesari Yoga. The lordship of Jupiter, it's a fixed lordship, right? It is the lord of Sagittarius and the lord of Pisces.
Right.
The Mula Trikona Sthana of Jupiter is Sagittarius, right? And the lordship of Moon is Cancer. The Mula Trikona Sthana of Moon is in Taurus.
Taurus.
The funny fact people who don't know about this is, from the Mula Trikona Sthana of Jupiter to the Mula Trikona Sthana of Moon, it is 6-8
combination.
So I usually keep telling people, you are only seeing one side of the coin. You should see the other side of the coin. Gajakesari Yoga is not always going to give you benefits. It will never give you only benefits. It has the other face, which is the Roga.
Roga, because of the 6-8 combination.
Exactly. So we need to see for every yoga. For every yoga, I am telling.
I also would like to say this point. Like in astrology, nothing is extremely good and nothing is extremely bad.
Correct.
Each and everything has both the impact. So, like example, you gain something huge and you lose something. So it happens at a time, and we know these things are happening in the celebrities' life also, because that we know. It comes on the newspaper, so we get to know.
Correct.
But other people, common people, they go through this every day. They have good things along with bad things. This is how the nature is. Nothing can come.
Yeah, nothing is it's not a cake and you can eat the whole thing. It's not like that. You have the other associated difficulties
The hard
in
work
life.
is there, right?
Yes, yes. See, I'll give you another example because if I simply tell about Gajakesari Yoga 6-8 combination and leave it, people will think that only for Jupiter and Moon this happens. We will take the other point also, like the lordship, not only the Mula Trikona, the lordship also of the Gajakesari Yoga. Jupiter is Sagittarius, Lord of Sagittarius, and Moon is Lord of Cancer. Once again, 8-6 combination.
Yeah.
From Jupiter it is 8, and from Sagittarius Cancer is 8, from Cancer Sagittarius is 6.
And why we are taking Sagittarius is because of its
Mula Trikona.
because it becomes more stronger.
That is the strongest point, because the negativity of the 12th house we all know. So Pisces is the 12th Rashi, so the negativity is already there in that. We will not go into that, because from the Kala Purusha, that is the Lagna being Aries, Pisces becomes the 12th house. But 9th house, Sagittarius, is always regarded as, a benefactor, a generous planet. It is a great planet. It gives you a lot of wonderful, beautiful things. The problem here is that we do not know the negative side of Gajakesari Yoga. So let me keep the negative side aside for today. We will talk only about the positive side of Gajakesari Yoga. Let us say that Gajakesari Yoga gives you a royal influence. It gives you social recognition. It gives you stature. It gives you respect. Identity. And also it gives you a mental balance. That is why Gajakesari Yoga is such a great yoga, because Moon is mind and Jupiter is wisdom. And when we have a Manas plus Viveka, then it's as good as a Vivekananda. The yoga is as good as a person who has extraordinary control over his mind. Now, if this sort of a yoga of Moon and Jupiter goes and falls in the Dusthanas, as she has said, the 6th, the 8th and the 12th house. All these three houses are having extraordinary significations. The good ones and the bad ones, both are there in this, mixed up. Because the 6th house is a Upachaya Sthana and is the house of service and growth. You will get very good social recognition, because, like for example, if you want to open a non-governmental organization, NGO, you need to have a strong 6th house. Without you doing actions for service, you will not be able to do anything in your life. And why is the 6th house so important? Because it is the 9th from the 10th. You take the 10th house, count it from there. The 7th house from the 10th house is the 4th, 5th and the 6th becomes the 9th. So the 9th house is very important. So if Gajakesari Yoga is in the 6th house, you can do wonderful deeds for the society. But it will not be great for the family. Why? Because the 6th becomes the 12th from the 7th. It's not that great for your family life. It's not that good for relationships. Husband and wife, they will have lot of psychological differences. Why psychological and emotional differences? Because Jupiter is psychological and Moon is emotional. So they will have a lot of differences. But if the other points like the 7th Lord, the Lagna Lord, these are all strong, the family life will be going on. But there will be a lot of distance between each other. The wife will understand that the freedom has to be given to this person, or else he will, he will not even care for us. So the other way around also is there. If the wife is more social, most of the times, if the wife is more social, the husband will envy. In India, the other way around is fine. It's very easy. You have seen that, right?
Yeah, to manage, to let go of the husband, to do.
Correct. In India or any other place, in the world,
Mostly
in the other
India.
parts of the country, other parts of the world, in the liberated world, let us call as the open country like US or Australia,
That is fine.
man and woman are equally having their own kinds of personal life, open life. But here in India, it's not like that. If a woman tells that I'll be going to my club, I'll be going to this society function, if I'll be going there, they think that only rich people have to do that. Middle class, they have to be in the kitchen or they have to tend to the children. There's a lot of responsibility which is tied up to the woman.
Tied up. completely tied up.
Gajakesari Yoga in a woman's chart is a
Yeah.
challenge in the 6th house.
Right, right. She will have to go through
She
lot
will
of
be
hurdles.
crying inside, telling that I would want to become an IAS officer, I would want to become an officer in the bank, I would want to do this, I would want to do this,
Or
but
run a NGO or start up something.
correct, I want to do this, I want to do this good for the females, I want to do this for this. So the problem is that she will not be able to do it because of so many constraints, and you know, the bomb, what we call as the frustration, will start building up inside. And this is not good for family life. But this is extraordinarily good. You know, it's very good if the husband understands and he gives
That liberty.
the liberty to the wife and tells that you do whatever you want, and she will do wonderful jobs. So the 6th house, I'm taking only one main point here, that is service. The other points are there like runa, like loans. You will get fantastic loans because of the Gajakesari Yoga. You will have a very good name, and you will have that
Accessible to
accessibility for loan. The manager will know you. He'll just welcome you inside, and then he'll give you the loan because of the reputation of your family. Why the family comes here? Because Chandra and Jupiter both are, these are the only two planets which are the Adhipatis, or the signifiers, sorry, for the 2nd house, the Kutumbasthana.
Dusthanas, right.
You know, moon for the mother, moon for infancy, moon for childhood, and moon for family life. Food, Jupiter for extended family, a huge one. So Jupiter for wealth. So 6th house, Jupiter and moon, I will tell, other than two factors, it's a great combination, but two factors are there. One factor, he will not have the strength to come out in the public and speak. You need a strong Mars with the Gajakesari Yoga in the 6th house, or else the confidence lack of confidence.
Or the
This
Lagna Lord
person,
has to be very strong.
because what has been
Based
written in all the books, everybody can open your books in all the epics and
Creators
see
and all this.
that they will tell that the person will lack strength. The person will lack social strength. He will not be able to even tell his opinion in front of people.
They will be
He'll
very
have the
strong,
fear.
yeah. They'll be very humble.
Humble.
They
Very
approach-
humble in the sense that they will accommodate even their enemies.
Yeah.
You know, they'll become friends with their enemies. What's the use to be friends with enemies? No,
That
it's
is
good.
what people
It's
think.
good. You need to be Buddha. This is Kali Yuga. This is not the avatar of Buddha is not running here. Buddha was a great saint, and we all want to be, you know, in that particular era. It was a golden era when Buddha was there. You know, ahimsa. There was no violence. The problem today is that everywhere the border,
It starts in the family
it
itself.
starts in the family. Yeah, that's the point. We were in the family. No? Why should I go to the border of a country? So, the 6th house has two major faults when it is in Gajakesari Yoga. First one is that they will be fearful, and the second one is that Roga.
The yoga is important.
Jupiter is one big planet which can give you big, super strong diseases. You know, big ones. Difficult to handle. I'll tell you, I have seen charts where people are suffering from cancer, people are suffering from kidney dysfunction. So, people who have 6th house, Jupiter and Moon, don't fear that you are going to get it. I have seen many charts who are very healthy. But please check, the Lagna has to be strong, the Sun has to be strong, Mars has to be strong, then the blood will be strong, the circulation will be
Also
strong.
the dasha. When
Dasha Bhukti,
Dasha
very
Bhukti,
important to
that is
have
at the point when it triggers.
timing of the
Timing of the
event.
right.
So let me go to the 8th house now. I think it will become a very long, lengthy discussion, but anyway, let me go to the 8th house. We all know 8th house means desires.
Here I would like to say one point. We cannot consider the lordship because for different lagnas, like for Aries, like Jupiter is the 9th
Oh,
and the
lot
12th
of
lord.
variations.
So that is a lot of variations will be there. Somewhere, if it is the 6th, suppose the Gajakesari Yoga forms in this Capricorn where Jupiter is debilitated. So and if it is the 6th house for the native, so the impact will be totally different. Then the desire will be there to do for the charity work, but it will not come up, it will not be successful. Why? Because Jupiter is debilitated. Same way, if Chandra is debilitated and if that combination is there and it becomes a 6th house or 8th or 12th, the impact will be different. And again, if this combination is in an exalted house, the impact will be different for the same 6, 8, 12. So
See
it
the
keeps changing. So you
the
cannot keep
for
this
each
as
lagna we'll have to do Gajakesari Yoga because it is a very peculiar yoga. From each lagna, one or the other Dusthanas will be covered. For Aries, the 12th house. For Taurus, the 8th house. For Gemini, the 7th house. It's everywhere. No, Dusthana is not there for the corners, but still, for the Sagittarius lagna, particularly, the lagna adhipati exalts in the 8th house. It is the 8th lord which is moon. It's a very
imagine
complicated thing.
the combination of Gajakesari Yoga for Saji Lagna in Cancer. So it will be totally different.
It will be different.
So
He'll
please
be very
do
rich.
not generalize. Do not start taking your charts and get into fear or anxiety. Please, there are many other concepts. There are many parameters. So it's not an easy task to delineate or to come out with one or two predictions. It's very tough.
Very tough.
So just keep this in mind. And so please continue for the 8th house.
Okay. We have this trumpeting going on in between. That is the alarm call of our, peacock and peahens which are there roaming around. Anyway, so we have a very beautiful morning here always with peacocks. We have a peacock here roaming here, 30 feet away. They are not bothered because they are used to us, our farm. So let me continue with the 8th house. 8th house. The most important point of the 8th house, I am talking the most important point which actually forms a character of a person, is the inner requirement, desire, the gut feeling. It will never allow a person to sleep until he has done it. If it is good
for the society. And
good for the society. If it is bad, dangerous for the native and also for the society. So, Gajakesari Yoga, a fantastic yoga, a balanced yoga, sitting in a house of desires, that is a place where it bloats up the desire, it makes it huge, it's like a Himalayas. The person has never-ending goals, and I love that. If you have never-ending goals, you should not have an ending goal, you should not be like, I do this and my life is finished. You never have ending goals. It should be like never-ending goals. But that's good. But it should not be to such an extent that the person will always feel dissatisfied, go into a depressive mode and always feel negative that he can't achieve it at all. Never-ending desire, big desires, but fully motivated personality. That is why I am telling a Gajakesari Yoga should be compensated or should be complemented, more than compensation. It should be a complement by Mars in the chart. A strong Mars with a good Shatbala with a Gajakesari Yoga will give extraordinary results. So, 8th house also is for litigation. It is for public social humiliation. It is also for hurdles. That is why the 8th house is known as the Dusthana. Nobody wants to get humiliated in public, right? So what will happen? Jupiter and Moon, I have told you that it is a family, an extended family. If it is Gajakesari Yoga in the 8th house, there is a tendency of getting humiliated in the family itself. Because of some talk or some deed.
Acceptance level also will not be that great in the family.
Your voice is very low. You need to.
I will work on it. I'm not used to
Okay, I'll get this comment, but today, please try to understand that she is here on the first day in front of a camera. So anyway, I have motivated her and urged her to come here. It's 21st of April, which was our anniversary. That is the first 1 year completion in YouTube, and that's the day which I wanted to do this, but it's now already May. It's okay.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. It's okay. So what I'm trying to tell here is the second most important thing is social stature. So allegations will again decrease your social identity, respect and stature. Humiliation, going through suspensions, Yeah, it might be false. It's not that you have done something wrong and you have got caught and you are redundant caught and done something. That also happens if the lagna has a bad intention. If the lagna is badly placed, then the person will have wrong intentions. And with the Gajakesari Yoga in the 8th house, he will have the nature of usurping everything. You know, the greedy jealousness will be very high. That I want this, I want that, I want that also. So let me sell this, let me mortgage this and get that. So in the way of doing that, he will lose everything. So people who have good Gajakesari Yogas, they can be very good investors, good marketing people, lawyers,
Research.
excellent in research. They can be good in stock market because 8th house, stock market, you know, all that which you gamble on.
Please here also, just be careful. It will depend upon the lordship, like in which direction the desire will be.
Yeah,
Lordship of the Jupiter, lordship of the moon will indicate the area of desire, because there are innumerable things in one's life. So which one? Which desire? So that you need to be careful again.
obviously. Excellent. So the lordships. So the point what she is trying to stress here is, please suddenly don't open your chart and make deductions. Do not do that.
Don't get into stock trading
This
immediately.
is for people who want to learn astrology. Purely, this is a high level discussion of one yoga in three Dusthanas. It is a little difficult for people to directly deduce or predict from their charts. Do not do that. It is not good for a mental peace. But also, you can, people who are studying astrology, because this is a channel which is purely for astrology seekers for astrology. So the inner desire, I have spoken about it. I have spoken about the humiliation part, which might be very temporary if it is a benefic combination and the Lagnadipati is strong and the lordships are good. Then it will be a temporary problem, temporary hiccup for people, but after that they will get cleared. Court cases with regard to family duels, the problem, property related. This is one thing I am seeing a lot nowadays, because people don't have, I don't understand what is a family nowadays. Husband and wife, they are fighting. I can understand that they have both met from different families and they again want to go away separately because there is something which is not gelling. What about brothers and sisters? You are all born in the same family, man. You people are fighting. I have seen people fighting, for a piece of property.
It's irony.
I have seen people going to criminal extensions of,
Killing, murder, all these are
these are all bad things to happen in the society. But the 8th house gives greed, jealousy, and they will not let go even an inch of a property.
It has a strong malefic influence. The greed is like it can go to any
The other way around, if it is having a benefic influence, Jupiter and Moon will give you a lot of parental property.
Yeah.
It will give you
Become
good
easy,
lot of
become
parental
easy.
property.
From mother's side also you can get, because again
Moon.
represents mother. So one more thing I would like to say, that for everybody here, whoever is watching our channel, like whatever is there in your chart for any house, like as I had discussed or as I had said earlier, that both positivity and negativity is there. Try to encash on the positive side of it.
Correct.
Always look at the positive side of it. No need to keep criving on the negative side and then like my life is ruined, my this has happened, this is bad, my luck is bad. See, everybody has their own share of hurdle and difficulty. So you can't keep comparing. You don't know what the other person is facing. So try to encash on the positive side. So like for the 8th combination, the best thing is that you can take up something into research and do well in that.
People think,
you can get into patents.
That word occult does not mean that you have to go into these occult sciences only.
Yeah.
Anything that has to be revealed, anything that is discoveries and inventions.
You can become a scientist.
8th house, a very good house.
You need to. The thing is that you will be working more. Suppose if you work 100%, maybe the returns will be 70%, 80%. Because that is the hurdle is there. You take one step, you will go back again 2 steps. Again you have to take again 4 steps, you will again come back 1 step. Okay, accept it. So what we say, no, accept it. Everything we cannot fight it out. You accept it and then start working on it.
Fighting, you lose energy.
Yeah.
It's like swimming up against the
Just keep on trying.
current of the
Definitely it
water.
will give you return. It's like that. So this is how you need to go through the bad things in your horoscope for anybody.
See, Jupiter alone also in the 6th, 8th and 12th is not good. It's one of the most malefic placements. Moon in the 6th is okay, 8th it's not good, 12th it's neutral. But the combination of Jupiter and Moon becomes very benefic. It's an excellent combination. So let me go to the 12th house now. I'll only take up two things with regard to the 12th house, the most important two things. One is losing your own self-ego and being for the society or being for others, being for the animals, being for the earth. So you are there for them. This is the 12th house. You are selfless. Let us say selfless, because Lagna means self. 12th house means selflessness. Only Jupiter in the 12th house, lot of selfish motive will be there for the first half of the life. Moon in the 12th house, lot of charity. So Gajakesari Yoga in the 12th house, a person will have very good charitable mindset. They have to give. This is one of the best, charity for Gajakesari Yoga in the 12th house. Your karmas. You can solve your karmas by helping people, by helping mankind, by helping animals, by planting trees, by doing some good deeds. Let's say simple, by doing good deeds. And whatever is a good deed for you, you please do it. So,
As for
the second most important thing of the 12th house, other than the moksha, which I told selflessness is moksha, nothing but moksha. Renunciation. That is what is the first part of renunciation, is to give good, do good things to others. The second most important point of the 12th house is getting associated with materialistic luxuries. The five senses. The five senses and the Shad Vargas. Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsarya, Lobha, Moha. We have all these Shad Vargas and the five senses, the sight, the hearing ability, the taste, the smell and the touch. So these five senses are totally controlled by Lagna and the 12th house. The 8th house will only initiate, I want this, I want that. The 6th house will tell, we'll do this, we'll do that. But the 5th house will tell, we'll learn that, we'll see that. The 9th house will tell, let me go there, let me go here, let me travel there, let me do this. So these are all performance. But the 12th house is, I am getting this through my touch, I am getting this through. So full communication, all communication which happens through our senses. And Gajakesari Yoga is an extremely good yoga because he is pious. This native
will relish everything.
Will relish good things.
Good things in life.
They are like the flamingos. I'll tell, a flamingo is such a bird which filters only what it has to eat. They eat that shrimp or the crayfish or whatever, the small ones. So they are into slushy, muddy water. They put their heads into the water and they start, eating the thin, small, they don't have a mouth to chew. So I always keep telling people with lot of filters, Gajakesari Yoga, they will have a lot of filters. Their mindset will be predestined that they should be good. So they will always seek good, they will always seek good, they will always want good. So that means they are good to this world. They will not unnecessarily misuse or abuse sensual pleasure. This is a very important thing for today's world.
They will be within the ethics.
Ethics, moral ethics.
Moral ethics will be there.
They will not go into the moral turpitude. They will be into their moral ethics. So I think today's talk on Gajakesari Yoga and Dusthanas
has given a very good insight. I hope
Thank
it
you.
will really help the viewers. And please come up with the good questions, good queries, which we will try to answer.
We will take up your queries,
And
as and when we are able to do these videos.
But we cannot take it as an individual horoscope. It's difficult. We can take the points which will be
General
helpful
points,
for
please.
everyone.
Yeah.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank
It was
you.
really good.
Thank you. It was nice.